Welcome back to the channel, folks. Once again, we're back on the series of the 61 Mercury Meteor. Okay, well, here it is. The new to us 352 rebuilt motor I picked up on Marketplace. That we're going to put into the 61 Meteor. In the last video, you saw the engine did not run. We had that problem with the oil pump. You can still see the problem. The oil pump locked up. It broke the shaft from the distributor down to the oil pump. So rather than spending a bunch of money trying to fix this motor, I found this one. The gentleman had it in a 69 Ford F-150. I'll show you a picture of that. So I saved a bunch of money. We're going to pull this motor out, take off all the things that we need to change over to this motor. So the intake manifold is different. You can see the oil fill there. There's no oil fill on this one. The valve covers are different. Obviously these say Mercury and those say Ford. The oil filter housing comes out to the side instead of straight down like this one, where the oil filter goes down. So I have to change that over as well, and that might be pretty much it. All right, I got all the bolts out of the intake manifold. Let's see if we can get it to come off of here. I wanted to show you just how clean and newly rebuilt this motor is. I'm hoping the light is good enough that you can see in here. It may not be. If you can see down in there or not. I'm trying to get some good picture for you, some good lighting. But every piston looks like new. The timing chain looks like new. Oil pump assembly is all new. This looks really good. All right, let's toss this pan on. Time to give this engine a new paint job. Get it ready to go back into the car. We're going to spray it with what I found to be as close as possible to Ford Blue. It may not be an exact match, but it's pretty close. Plus it's 600 degree because these are the exhaust manifolds bolt here. This is a lot of heat. Quick coat. This will be your sticky coat. Goes on light. I'm gonna close these garage doors because overspray, we don't want to get it on these cars. start it. It's an old car, you have to do it differently. So I didn't show us previously, but we replaced all the brake hardware, the shoes, the wheel cylinders, the rubber lines, front and rear. The fronts are done, the rears, I've got one more side to do on the rear. We replaced the master cylinder. And from the master cylinder, this is the main line that goes down to the distribution block. And from the distribution block, it goes across to each front wheel, and then one goes to the back for the rear wheels. The front lines, this one and the ones that go to each wheel on each side, is in really good shape. But the one that goes from here all the way to the back to here, that line is garbage. Yeah, there we go. So I'm going to have to replace this line. It goes all the way up to the front of the car, the master cylinder. And then it goes to a rubber line here, to a mount here for the distribution block. And that goes over to this, where this wheel cylinder is going to be here, and over to the other side to that wheel cylinder. I know you can't see it, but I'll take that stuff apart and show you. So I got to make the line that goes across the diff to here, and then the one that goes from here all the way up to the front of the car. So that's what we're going to be working on today. I bought the nickel copper line, which is this line. I have all the old lines here to use as templates for the new to go across the housing and to each one of the cylinders. But from the front of the car to the back, I have 25 foot of this line, Nicorp. Anyways, so that's the task today. Get this side of the car up in the air as well. I'm gonna run this new line next to the old line to follow all the same bends before I take the old line out. I saw online that I could buy this line pre-bent, and it's got a lot of bends and jogs and all kinds of stuff. It looks like it would be easier to take the body off of the frame, put that line on, and put the body back down on it. And I don't think I want to do that. All right, so I made a measurement. I'm going to cut this line. I'm going to flare it, and then I'm going to bend it to this shape of the old one. And before I flare the other end, I'm going to go test fit it, make sure it's the right length. This stuff's really easy to work with. It's easy to bend, it's easy to flare. It's also easy to mess up. I'm using 3/16 inch line. So 3/16. So you put your line in your tool, use your piece, the flare part, as a measuring device. You want that much sticking out, like that. Then you put this back in, the inside of the tubing. You take your flare tool and you run it down. If you can see it or not, but run it all the way down until it stops. Right there. And you back it off. Take this tool off. And that's your product, half your product. Then you use your tool to finish the second flare. That's why it's called the double flare, right? Put the tip of this right back inside and turn it again until it stops. You don't want to over tighten it, you don't want to overturn it, you'll crack the tubing. That should be just about enough. And you should wind up with a flare that looks like this. That should be your end product, your double flare. I've got the lines all bent, all the flares made, and I've got them all installed. So from that wheel cylinder, following the rear end housing, all the tabs, a little loose there, but you fix that. Do the distribution block, over to the other side in the other wheel cylinder. All right, here we go. We're gonna put these brakes together now. If anyone's done drum brakes before, you'll know the struggle. This car, the drum brakes were all rusted and locked together. I had to buy all new hardware, new springs, new tensioners. I had to go buy this wheel cylinder arm. There's a missing one. So with your brake shoes, if you can see them or not, you have a short shoe and a long shoe. The short shoe goes to the front, the long shoe goes to the back. Like so. But before we do that, all these pads that the shoes slide up and down against, we're gonna grease those. Just a little bit of lube so they'll slide easier, not lock up. Some high temp grease, it's just fine. And then sometimes I'll put some around here because that's where the shoe horn goes, whatever you want to call it. We'll have to use some in here as well, like the adjuster. These, that's bone dry in there. There's nothing in it. So if you don't grease it, they'll weld together from corrosion. This one goes on here as well. They go to the bottom of the shoe here, and that's what pushes the shoe out for the adjustment. And as you're turning this stays stationary, so you want to put a little grease inside here as well. Now it's all greased. This is the emergency brake or the parking brake cable, and it attaches to this piece here. And this goes here. And it's held in place by this doodad. You slide that in there, and you squeeze the ends so it doesn't come off. All right, the shoes are held on with the pins and the springs. This car takes two of them, those two holes there. They go through this one and this one. There's probably tricks to this and easier ways to do this than what I'm doing, but this is what I have for now. This special tool. You have to hold the pin with one hand and compress the spring and turn it with the other as it goes through the slot of the cup. Two. Perfect. Now this one, we have to pull the spring back, lock it in like so. Got it. Now this piece is your spreader bar, and I believe it goes this way. See how fun this is? This goes here to keep those guys locked in place. There's a self-adjuster. Now the fun part. Just like that. All right, after some struggles, I was able to get all those things lined up and those upper springs on. The emergency cable is on still. Everything's still there. So what's left is get this doodad put here, like so. This doodad catches here. And then this spring you can see the same on this side. Got your auto tensioner cable, your springs, down to this doodad. So I want to show you too the adjustment on this. There's of course you got your adjuster here, right? But in the back, I don't know if you can see it or not, there is a hole right here. See my finger? And you run this bar into the hole from the back, and you turn. Until you get it where you want it to ride on the drum. So right now, it's really, really loose. So we're gonna be cranking away. Let's go. Let's go. There we go. You just want a little resistance, and the self adjusters will adjust them out once they wear in. This plug goes back into that hole in the back. All right, we're back on the 61 meter. Today we're working on the floor. We've taken all the rust off the floor, basically with a wire wheel. No rust holes through, so we cleaned it all up. We've got pole 15 down. We're gonna let that set up and dry. The rest of the floor is really nice. It's got this section to do over here under the footwell. So the gas pedal is. We're trying to get the gas pedal out right now. And once that's done, we will be putting the kill mat down. And then after that, we'll put in the new carpet. So I got a new carpet for it. I got some seat covers. I think it's gonna look really nice. It's gonna clean it up. The interior will be pretty much done at that point. All right, so that's some of the kill mat down. It's gonna work out pretty good. Since we're waiting for the 415 to dry, I thought I'd take this time to replace the 4 headlights on the front of the car. Right, so carpet's about in. We just got some trimming to do. We got one of the seats out there covered. Okay, carpet is in. Seats are covered. Truck seat covers, and they're in. Just gotta do some trimming and put the sill plates on. So yeah, the carpet, I thought I'd ordered teal rather than aqua. And the seat covers, these are the only colors that I could find. I wish I could have found green. Green would have looked a lot better, but these are the color choices I have. I think they work well together, and it'll be okay. Thank you for watching Dad Mods and Hot Rods Garage. Stay tuned for more on this car. Please like, share, and subscribe, and have a good one.